but the time together through all the years will take away these tears. It's okay now. Goodbye, my friend. I see a lot of things that make me crazy, and I guess I held on to you. You could have run away and left, well maybe, but it wasn't time and we both knew. So goodbye, my friend. I know I'll never see you again, but the love you gave me through all the years will take away these tears. I'm okay now. Goodbye, my friend. Life's so fragile and love's so pure. We can't hold on, but we try. We watch how quickly it disappears, and we never know why. But I'm okay now. Goodbye, my friend. You can go now. Goodbye, my
Good afternoon. I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to you all, and on behalf of Louise, thank you for being here. My name is Jo Jarvis. I'm a funeral celebrant, and it's a great privilege for me to lead this ceremony as we celebrate Pat's life. Although our hearts are full of sadness at the loss of Pat, we must remember all the happiness, love and friendship that she brought to so many people throughout her life, and the wealth of endearing and treasured memories she leaves behind. Without a doubt, she will be deeply missed, leaving a void in the hearts and minds of those who loved, cherished, and knew her. Many people come and go in our lives, but there are always a few that you never forget. These are the special type of people who can never be replaced, the one-of-a-kind individuals, and this best describes Pat. It's impossible in the time we have to pay tribute to all that Pat was, all that she loved, and just how much she meant to everyone. But I'm sure in the very unique tributes from Louise, you'll all recognise the Pat that you knew and loved. Thank you, Louise.
Hi. Well, we're here today to give Mum a really good send-off, a send-off that she deserves. And today she's the star of the show, and she was a star. You will be missed. Saying goodbye was the hardest thing to do. I never thought I would, especially not to you. You always listened and knew what to say. Knew when to give a hug when I was having a bad day. No one will ever take your place. I can always promise you this. It's hard to find someone like you, so know you'll always be missed. I know you've all got memories of her. I'm sure you're thinking about them now and have been over the last few weeks. Memories of a smile, especially. Memories of a kindness and generosity of spirit. Memories of her maybe coming up your driveway with a tin of lemon drizzle cake and thinking, oh no, that means I'm really ill. I'd better get my affairs in order. Memories of Mum at the playhouse helping you with costumes, and memories of a sense of humour. And that humour stayed with her right to the end, I'm glad to say, as did her wanting to help people. Even in the Dales care home, she was still trying to help other residents. Some memories I have are when Nick and I were very young, and Dad would be at the playhouse, and Mum would get the poetry books out. And one of our favourites was Now We Are Sick by A.A. Milne. And I know it's really Now We Are Six, but it came out a lot when we were ill. Oh, thank you. So it became Now We Are Sick. So to honour that memory, here's a poem from it. Wherever I am, there's always Pooh. There's always Pooh and me. Whatever I do, he wants to do. Where are you going today, says Pooh. Well, that's very odd, because I was too. Let's go together, says Pooh, says he. Let's go together. What's twice 11, I said to Pooh. Twice what, said Pooh to me. I think it ought to be 22. Just what I think myself, said Pooh. It wasn't an easy sum to do. But that's what it is, said Pooh, said he. That's what it is, said Pooh. Let's look for dragons, I said to Pooh. Oh, yes, let's, said Pooh to me. We crossed the river and found a few. Yes, those are dragons, all right, said Pooh. As soon as I saw their beaks, I knew. That's what they are, said Pooh, said he. That's what they are, said Pooh. Let's frighten the dragons, I said to Pooh. That's right, said Pooh to me. I'm not afraid, I said to Pooh. And I held his paw and I shouted, shoo, silly old dragons. And off they flew. I wasn't afraid, said Pooh, said he. I'm never afraid with you. So wherever I am, there's always Pooh. There's always Pooh and me. What would I do, I said to Pooh, if it wasn't for you? And Pooh said, true. It wasn't much fun for one, but two can stick together, says Pooh, says he. That's how it is, says Pooh. This one I just included because I liked it and I thought Mum would like it. I made myself a snowball, as perfect as could be. I thought I'd keep it as a pet and let it sleep with me. I made it some pyjamas and a pillow for its head. Then last night it ran away, but first it wet the bed. This is one that I wrote just before she died, and I was going to go and read it to her, but she was too busy dying at the time, which I thought was very selfish of her, but never mind. But this is my personal tribute to her. Al is not an owl. An owl, Al is not. But he looks like one. He's a tawny frogmouth. We first met him on his very first day out of the family nest, thrown out, his little hanky packed for him by Mum and Dad, and sent out to face, alone, the big wide world, to sink or swim, or rather to fly or fall, splat, onto the unforgiving concrete of suburban sprawl. Poor thing was so young and naive, clutching the branch with white-knuckled toesies in the gusting wind. He didn't even know he was meant to be asleep. It was daytime, sleepy time for tidy, tawny frog-mouths. Gusty, gusty, gust went the wind, and Al fell off his precious, precarious perch. Time for Al's first flying lesson, and possibly his last. Down, 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 Red Owl, Red Owl, no time to read the instructions. Flappy, flappy, flippy, floppy, floopy, floopy. Ooh, these flappy things work. Red Owl not on the suburban concrete sprawl. How to avoid that big wally thing? Oh, yes, like that. He re-perched and blinked at us. as we congratulated him. "Thanks," he seemed to say. The poor thing looked scared to death. What could we do? We needed to build his confidence. We could help with that. "You're doing great, Al," we cried. "You can do it. We'll stay here with you all afternoon." And we did. What a big, strong not owl you are. What a clever not owl you are. You can learn this floopy thing. We're here for you. You're not alone. Everyone needs a friend sometimes, and you've got us. And slowly he blossomed. He perched taller. "Yes, I can do it. I can. And as the light faded, he stretched out his floopies and flew off, as if he'd been doing it for years. A master aviator, a master of floop. He was back on his perch by morning. He gave us a sleepy wink, and so Al grew from a little ball of not owl fluff into a wise, strong and beautiful not owl. He made the tree outside our bedroom window his home. Woo-hoo, 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 my friends, look at me, woo-hoo. And in time he brought home Alice. Woo-hoo. And a lot of woo-hooing went on their sleepy by perch. And they made many little Als and Alices. And to this day, they perch around their little campfires and tell stories of the time of the great comfort. Floop, floop, woo-hoo. Thank you.
Wonderful. Let's take some time for contemplation now as we listen to music to afford you the opportunity to remember Pat in your own way, to reflect on her life and what she meant to you.
And who can say if your love grows
I'd like to ask Louise again to continue the wonderful tribute for her mum. Thank you, Louise.
As you know, we spent a lot of time in St Ives in the last few years, and we'd go to festival performances in Norway Square every day for at the festivals, or once a week we'd go to the arts club, to the Café Frug, and we both absolutely loved those times. And so the next two pieces are written by people that became good friends during these times. The first is by Evelyn Holloway, and I might have to do these in her accent. So if I do a really bad Viennese accent, that's because I hear her saying these ones. But she's very glad to be part of this occasion to honour Mum. And these are called one-liners, and they did used to make us laugh. Well, they still do me. The lecture on time travel will be held last Tuesday. If you believe in telekinesis, raise my hand. If you can't beat your computer at chess, try kickboxing. If you smoke after sex, you're doing it too fast. It's bad luck to be superstitious. I told you 1,000,000 times, stop exaggerating. Jealousy is all the fun you think they have. Logic, the art of being wrong with confidence. Marriage is the main cause for divorce. Toe, a device for finding furniture in the dark. Consciousness, that annoying time between naps. Hard work has a future payoff. Laziness pays off now. You can't have everything. Where would you put it? Always remember, no matter where you go, there you are. Is there another word for synonym? Microwave, signal from a friendly micro. The girl in the middle of the tennis court is Annette. When you teach a wolf to meditate, it's a werewolf. Nothing tops a plain pizza. I never finish anything. I have a black belt in partial arts. Ghosts like to ride elevators because it lifts their spirits. Where there's a will, I want to be in it. War does not determine who's right, only who's left. Knowledge is knowing a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not putting it in a fruit salad. And this last piece is by our wonderful friend and mentor to many, Bob Devereux. And if you all look at the back of your funeral cards, the writing in bold, I want you all to sing along, because I have so many memories with Mum singing along to this, and we'd be holding hands in Norway Square. We'd always be grinning like idiots when we did it. So it's just got so many wonderful memories. And thank you very much to Archangel for coming along and helping with this. That's the chorus, so if you think that in your head, and we'll get back to it. So I'll go on with the first verse first. Yeah. November the 9th, Ludo. We played Ludo together, and she won 2 and 6pence. Handsomely gowned in black and wearing black ornaments, she sat with me in the lamplight on the sofa in the Morris room, with a Ludo board between us, placed on a large green cushion. I'll never forget it. Where were we? the Morris room together, in the lamplight on the sofa, we made such a charming picture, we should stay this way. Her face was as white as parchment, and her hair seemed an ebony black. I lolled in the opposite corner, a thin, elongated youth with fair hair all stiffered up, dressed in a light brown lounge suit with a good trouser crease, a white shirt with a soft linen collar, and a red tie. I was being political. You have to be political, especially nowadays, and we were. The Morris room together, in the lamplight on the sofa, we made such a charming picture, we should stay this way. Between us, on its green cushion, the Ludo board, with its brilliantly coloured squares, reds and blacks and greens together, all of it set before a background formed by the straight-backed, rectangular settle-like sofa, with its charming covering that went with the rest of the scheme. And it was perfect, just perfect. Well, nothing is ever perfect. Someone told me that once. I don't remember who it was. We were in the Morris room together, in the lamplight on the sofa. We made such a charming picture, we should stay this way. Rather decorative, she murmured in an audible voice, turning her head on one side and quizzing me. I could well believe it was. She looked totally beautiful sitting there, her pale face framed by her dark hair, in the lamplight, on the sofa, in the Morris room. She looked like a Dresden figurine, so fragile, untouchable. Bloody untouchable. That's the trouble. She was untouchable. We were. In the Morris room together, in the lamplight on the sofa, we made such a charming picture, we should stay this way. It's moments like these that a poor aesthete like me has a bitter choice. I could have kissed her. I should have kissed her. I would have kissed her, but I didn't want to spoil the tableau. So I let my chances fly out of the window. Oh, what a wonderful memory I will cherish. But what a fantastic experience I've almost certainly missed. We were in the Morris room together, in the lamplight on the sofa. We made such a charming picture, we should stay this way. There's a moral here for all young lovers. Never let a Ludo board come between you and a loved one. Take your chances with both hands. Come on, touch and be touched. Lips and fingers pressed. Sense life through touch. Find reality. Come, touch and be touched. Without touch, fantasy. Just fantasy. We were in the Morris room together, in the lamplight on the sofa. We made such a charming picture, we should stay this way. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
What a wonderful tribute to celebrate Pat's life, a life underpinned by family, love, and of course the theatre and the arts. The celebration of Pat's life will continue long after we leave here, as you exchange stories and memories of her not only today, but in the weeks, months and years to come. Following the ceremony, you're all warmly invited to the Ilkley Playhouse, of course, to continue today's celebration. And on the way out, there will be the opportunity to give donations in Pat's memory to support the Playhouse, a place that she loved and where she had so many friends. We've now reached the stage in our ceremony of farewell where we must say our formal goodbye to Pat. We realise the death of each of us is in the natural order of things, and her journey on earth is at an end. Now, in sorrow, but with love and appreciation for Pat's good life, we bid her farewell. Would you please stand with me if you're able? Pat, on this day of parting, we rejoice that you lived. We are grateful for your love. We took delight in your friendship. We treasure that we walked with you. We cherish the memory of your words, your achievements, your character. In this last act, with great sadness but with deep love, we release you to your onward journey. Pat, we thank you for the love and the happiness you gave and for being part of our lives. We wish for your peace ever after, and we will not forget you. Thank you. Please be seated. The good deeds of a person do not die with them. The work they did, the care they gave, the smiles they brought and the love they shared. These and many other aspects of them can never be erased. Though Pat's life has now ended, the essence of her will remain with you always. She will live on in your hearts and minds, and everyone here is enriched in some way for having known her. As you now face a future without the presence of Pat, perhaps you'll take comfort in the fact that simply being part of her life was a gift, and this alone is something to remember with gratitude. In the coming days, it may help to recall all the parts of her personality that you admired, loved, and cherished. Enhance these qualities in your own lives, and in doing so, make Pat's life of lasting value. In a few moments, we'll prepare to leave the chapel, but first I'll leave you with the following thought. Grief never ends, but it changes. It's a passage, not a place to stay. Grief is not a sign of weakness nor a lack of faith. It is the price of love.
I'm limited. Just look at me. I'm limited. And just look at you. You can do all I couldn't do, Glinda. So now it's up to you. For both of us. Now it's up to you. I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true. but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? Because I